And we are live. Hi, guys and girls. Gallifrey Forever 97 here. Merry Christmas to you all. Happy Boxing Day. In the 26th of December. Has it gone quick? I'm today joined by Adam Yosbert-Hoovian. Say hello, Adam.
Hello, guys. Hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas and enjoyed the episode, of course, Twice Upon a Time, which we should be going and talk about. And yeah, it's a pretty chill out Boxing Day, I may say. It's pretty chill.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. I literally did my last video, the 13th Doctor BBC One trailer, like literally all this morning.
Mm.
So that's actually been my Boxing Day, just editing, but each their own. So yes, this will be a spoiler talk on the Doctor Who 2017 Christmas special, Twice Upon a Time. Obviously, being the last episode, Peter Capaldi's portrayal of the 12th Doctor, and the introduction of Jodie Whittaker. So we're talking all things spoilers. So if you haven't watched the episode yet, first of all, why haven't you? And yeah, kind of watch it and then come back at some point. I'll say we'll be asking, looking at questions from the comments section. So a few of you have already been responding. So that'll be great to hear everybody's questions on the episode, thoughts, etc., and we'll be responding to them. So, Adam,
Hello.
what are your overall thoughts on Twice Upon a Time?
I've only watched the episode once live when it went out, and I thought it was a pretty decent watch. I think in terms of regeneration stories, I don't think it's neither hot nor cold for me. It had some very good scenes. Don't get me wrong, some very nice isolated scenes, but essentially this was an episode, and I think Moffat pretty much intentionally said this is no conflict. There isn't like the characters aren't necessarily. It's not like necessarily really high stakes, or the universe is ending, or like sort of end of time, or or a big war sort of on the time of the Doctor. So it's I'm intrigued how he did approach this regeneration story, because it does feel, and of course it being a multi-Doctor story, it certainly has a different feel. And some, I guess, actually, and I know maybe a few people might agree with me that it didn't necessarily feel like a Christmas special, but I think I feel like that's kind of a benefit to itself. It sort of would be. It's wintry, and you do sort of feel a twinge of it every now and again. But if you sort of compare it to Moffat's earlier Christmas specials, it is certainly departures from sort of what we're used to from Doctor Who Christmas specials, which I thought was quite nice and refreshing, and there was lots of fun. But of course, a few niggles. But of course, we'll get into that. So that's my brief view.
Yeah, great thoughts. Yeah, I completely agree about the Christmas aspect. I think Moffat has been coming away from the whole "it's Christmas" since the Peter Capaldi era. Like, I think since Husband's River Songbury, the Christmas side of Doctor Who in the Christmas specials sort of come away from it, which is quite nice. Honestly, I don't think there was no mention of Christmas here. Obviously, obviously World War One stuff, obviously, but
yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's strange. Obviously, I watched this at the screening, and I remember thinking then, like, I don't know where this fits in perspective to other Christmas specials and other multi-Doctor regeneration stories. It's quite a unique thing, so it's quite hard to sort of fit into like where's it placed on the regeneration thing. But I think it's sort of middle road. But I did really enjoy it. Like, there's some. It's just a really nice. Obviously, step back. Obviously, with the series 10 finale, we had the whole war with the Cybermen, the Master, all the stakes really high in that. So it's nice with this one. It's a very sort of low concentrated story with an episode which doesn't really have a threat over. It obviously didn't. Even Capaldi's just like, well, I have nothing to do. I have no plan to stop. So that's really interesting. But yeah, so first of all, we're going to talk about sort of Capaldi. Obviously, his last performance on screen as in the title of the Doctor. Yeah, Adam, what is going to sort of passionate thoughts on the portrayal of this episode?
Oh, most certainly. I think it. one of the things he said on Graham Norton is just like, when you stopped having the fun, leave. And I think it's very clear from this episode he's having a lot of fun, particularly coming up, bouncing off of David Bradley, sort of even his delivery when he said, "Oh, you still call it a ship," and sort of certain moments in there, and plenty that, you know, Capaldi's still brilliant and, you know, giving it 100%. Yeah, he's great with. I think he's very good with the comedy, the lighter moments, and of course the more dramatic moments, sort of nearer the end of, especially when we go to the armistice regeneration bit, last kind of 15-20 minutes. That's all very nice, and he shows a good range, which of course is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And his fanboyisms and such. So he's just he's still there. I definitely don't feel like he's sort of course, you know, series 10 was quite an intense shooting, and I believe they sort of maybe shot this I think a few moments of sort of after they had wrapped. So but I still, he doesn't feel like he's, I guess he's gone like scruffy, like his hair in the episode.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, and it's sort of it's got some history, and even like the batter, even when he sort of wearing that kind of battered sort of jacket and such, it's like, this is I kind of like him playing the Doctor that has certainly experienced a lot of sort of heartbreak and pain. So sort of, you know, when he sees Bill, he's kind of like, oh no, Bill got turned into a Cyberman. Of course, as I say, he's just brilliant dramatic moments, and I liked his final speech. I thought it was nice. However, I'm not. Are we going to talk? Should I sort of talk about his part of the regeneration now? Okay, yeah. I was going to say,
fine, yeah.
Unfortunately for me, this wasn't. It was a nice, as much as a nice speech and everything. I sort of go back to the Doctor Falls when he's lying down and he's like, "Pity, no stars. I'd hope there'd be stars." I thought that'd be a really nice line. Or the Doctor, I let you go. That's another really nice line. But you sort of, I just sort of feel like the atmosphere and everything. I think,
Yeah.
sort of, there's sort of that exit opportunity there, and it would have been just as I'd say just as impactful, but maybe even more so. Sort of dependent on how they would have carried forward, because of course for Moffat as well, the like Husbands was sort of, I guess, going to be his last one. And then I think when they sort of did that Chibnall Moffat announcement, it was like, I'm doing the 2016 Christmas special and going to do series 10. But I don't think it was necessarily if he was going to do Twice Upon a Time. And it's episode certainly is an epilogue in most sense of the word. It's certainly, I guess, an epilogue to series 10. And it wasn't, in that case, I guess it wasn't bad. But when I think for Capaldi, I feel like with Dr. Falls, I guess it was much meatier and that kind of two-part. But it's interesting sort of watching his performance evolve throughout, like, it's sort of beginning of World Another Time, when the shit kind of does start. Because, like, literally the first bit of World Another Time, this is, I guess, the Regeneration trilogy. I feel like this is definitely properly
that's how I see it as well.
Yeah.
No,
I'd say this is the weaker of the three, but
okay.
Yeah, but again, he's still great, and I still feel the moment was very good. But you know, whether previous it would have been, you know, just as, or if more so, it's possible as well. But yeah, Capaldi's very good.
Yeah, I was watching Doctor Who fan show earlier, and they had an interview with Moffat, and he was sort of saying it was very much a collaborative process. Like, they went through many different versions back and forth between the two, sort of saying, "Oh, do you think this works? Do you think that works?" etc. But yeah, I think it was more poetic in the Doctor Falls. I think obviously, but it obviously was a false ending. So when you have all the cliches of regeneration, like he goes back and says, "Oh, I don't want to go, you know." But yeah, I completely. I think it was a tad dragged out. I thought.
Yeah.
It did seem to sort of go on. Fine, and I was like, "Is that your final line?" I don't know. And then you talk for another minute, and I was, "Oh goodness, okay."
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Billy, and he thought when he went out to the door, he thought he was going to go back out into the North Pole and recreate the scene again from the Doctor Falls. I was just like, "What?" That just sounds really ridiculous. But yeah, no, like Quaddy was given plenty of great material in this episode. You know, some really like comedic banter between David Bradley, and so it's been some really nice touching moments, especially the last few scenes before he regenerates when he's outside. To obviously the TARDIS talking to sort of fake Bill and Nardole. But yeah, no, as I say, overall, I think it was a really good performance. Obviously there is a question of whether was this episode really necessary. But I think it's well justified overall. So let's see. There's loads and loads of questions coming through, so I think I need to answer a few of them. Mr. Dalek Emperor says exactly the same what Adam said. Twice Upon a Time feels like a part 3 of a series 10 finale rather than a standalone Christmas special.
Yes.
That's interesting. I think I'd rather it be that than be forced as a Christmas special. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people debating whether Jodie in a regeneration said "or brilliant" or "oh brilliant."
Yeah.
Me had this conversation before we even started. I thought she was brilliant. Unless
there was another reference to Tennant, then that'd be it.
Yeah, it definitely was a foreshadow to Tennant's doctrine. Oh, brilliant! Wow, brilliant. Yeah. Nighthound Who says, what are your thoughts on the return of Rusty and the captain being a Lethbridge Stewart? That was something I was going to talk about, but I think we could talk about it now.
Yeah, of course.
Return of Rusty, very random. I was just like, I remember watching it in the screen. I was like, I don't know if I shouted out like Rusty. Like, it's one of those things you think, oh, well, it was a quite interesting thing to bring back. But I think that point the episode dragged a bit. Like it was just sort of not going anywhere, and obviously the episode wasn't, like the plot wasn't anyway, because obviously they were trying to sort of end it. And the captain being a Lethbridge Stewart, yeah, I thought it was a nice callback. It's something which has sort of been building up through the Capaldi era. This sort of Brigadier theme, which is obviously started with Death in Heaven, obviously seeing the corpse of the Brigadier in a Cyberman's body.
Yeah.
But I thought it was quite a nice touching thing. It didn't sort of take anything away from Mark Gatiss's character, but it was nice to sort of add something. And I felt that if you didn't know as well, it would have just gone over your head, but it didn't affect you in the episode. What are your thoughts, Adam, on Rusty?
Starting with Rusty, funny thing was that I saw an image. I think this first sort of thing. I saw an image of the First Doctor and the 12th Doctor, and behind them was a Dalek, with a chain round and everything, and wires and such, which was like Rusty. And then I was kind of like, oh, I wonder how that's going to be incorporated. And there he was, and it's one of the earliest Capaldi stories, so maybe bring something back, or otherwise, I was worried about them if it was sort of returning sort of 12th Doctor characters. I was worried about the half-faced man and I'm very glad that was still left, open, whether he pushed or whether he jumped, because that was such a kind of a big part of, and I think it's just great that it's not like because maybe it's just like, oh, that would be something that would become sort of full circle, but luckily not. But I guess there's a lot of things in Moffat in that kind of era that the Danny Pink and Awesome Pink, the hybrid and all that stuff. That's still left confused in our minds. But of all the kind of things, I think it was just kind of Moffat trolling us in a sense of I guess same thing with Time of Doctor, just tying loose ends, and that was something. Yeah, but they just Nick Briggs is good friends with them, so that's all good.
Yeah. What about the Brigadier then?
Yes, Hamish somebody Lethbridge Stewart. Yes, the great grandfather. I like the fact that essentially the Doctor still saved the captain. Of course, still saved the captain sort of without, and that sort of the fact he knew sort of afterwards.
Right.
I think it was a line just saying, it's like, oh, will you? The captain's like, oh, will you tell my family? We contact my family, and it's like Lethbridge Stewart, and then the Doctor's like, oh, that will certainly, be considered. and the music played and everything. So yeah, it was a really nice sort of touching moment, and the fact that the Doctor didn't know, but it's just that was really nice.
The Doctor knew but didn't know.
Yeah, he didn't know throughout the episode until that moment, like he dropped the back, and then that when of course say we would definitely essentially saving the future of his of such a big part of his life, like a big part of the Brigadier. That is such a and Moffat has definitely been attributing to Nicholas Courtney ever since like 2011, like the Wedding of a Song, and then you sort of have Kate Lethbridge Stewart coming in, like his daughter sort of being sort of a new unit, and you see pictures of paintings of the Brigadier, and then you've got Cyberbrig and now this. So, it's clear how much Moffat loves the Brigadier and love honouring that legacy, definitely. So it's very much apparent. So yeah, I'm not surprised because it definitely was something that came into my head. I was like, so maybe he is related to Alistair Gordon Stewart.
Yeah, all army people.
Because I think Peter Capaldi described Mark Gatiss' character as a resonant of Doctor Who. So maybe he would. Of course, he would.
There's a comment here which relates back to Rusty. Gainer says, I think Rusty was an enchanted glass person disguised as a Dalek. It was a memory of the Doctor. I like that's quite an interesting thing. I think it's possible. But there again, though, because time froze, didn't it? But the Dalek froze as well, so I guess not. But
there's something weird about the Daleks currently, I feel. Especially, I think it sort of started around Series 9 when they sort of introduced something along the lines of the case sort of translating. Like, you don't need the mutant blob to sort of, for the Daleks to kind of communicate. And there was always, if a person's in there and they say "love me" and it comes out as "exterminate" or some random weird sort of introducing weird kind of Dalek stuff and that, which was I thought was kind of bizarre, and I guess they've sort of been playing about the Daleks, and they haven't. I am disappointed, I guess, how they've been utilized in that sense. I think maybe Into the Dalek was sort of the last, I guess, proper. I felt like the Daleks were properly Daleks in a sense. But then again, I know Moffat, with things like Sontarans and Strax and things like that, sort of taking a weird kind of curveball, but it'll be interesting to see how Chibnall, I guess, addresses with the returning monsters, especially how he's going to sort of play the rules up, I guess. Time will tell.
Time will tell. Yeah, I think going into the Chibnall era, I think hopefully they will be either re-establishing characters to their full form or giving them a break. I think this is probably the last episode in a while that'll have any classic references.
Definitely.
I don't think. I think it'd be nice though. I'm weirdly looking forward to it because like the 10th Planet stuff. I remember seeing that and I was like, this is cool. But if I hadn't had like classic reference after classic reference the past few years, I think it would be nicer. Do you see what I mean? I think it's become the norm to have like a classic reference, like in every episode. But I don't know. So Peter Capaldi, absolutely brilliant. Really amazing fun performance as a Doctor. Another Doctor in this episode, in the form of David Bradley as the first Doctor. Well, obviously there's 3 Doctors, but hey ho. So David Bradley returning to the role as the first Doctor. Obviously, we saw him in Adventure Space and Time, but obviously that was him playing the actor as opposed to the character himself. But obviously it was nice seeing the recreated scenes on the 10th planet. I don't know about you, Adam, but I thought the people who played Ben and Polly, I think, were quite unenthusiastic. Especially the Ben character. There's a line where he says sort of wakey Doctor. I remember in the episode, like in the 10th planet, he says that so enthusiastically. But obviously it's a different context. What did you think of the scenes being morphed into each other and the relation from the 10th planet to this episode?
Yeah, I thought it was really nicely done. It's brave of them to start off with the 10th planet to sort of many sort of people tuning in. And then, like, previously in Doctor Who, it's like, oh, maybe it's just a recap of, Peter Capaldi's last series or something. And then they sort of cut to 10th Planet if no one sort of knew that this was going on. So it's very interesting for casual audiences to be like, it's a 4.3 in black and white. Oh, my God. It's kind of a... I was kind of surprised. I was just like, oh, it's just, because I like the 10th Planet's the story. Just seeing a nice little recap. The morph was quite nice. It was in the trailer, and I thought it was quite cool. It was a nice kind of, moving transition. Playing all the strange creatures over it was kind of bizarre, however.
That's what it was.
And Val de Tune later on, just before the regeneration.
Val de Cam, yeah.
Yeah, Ben and Polly was okay. Ben was a little iffy, but they weren't really in it that much. But I still kind of feel like maybe they should have been in it a lot. I think they were probably shooting for a day, perhaps, or maybe a couple of days, just doing those 10 planet scenes. And whether more was filmed, because they certainly used a lot of that set, because there's a lot of like promo images, like even like Capaldi on the set and Bradley with like there's like that lovely picture of the annual and glass wine and glass wine and such. That was all quite cool. And then sort of later on, it's kind of bizarre because he sort of takes off. He sort of rematerializes at the South Pole, but he's sort of lying on the. You see the shot of him lying on the floor before he materializes, and it's kind of like, and then of course it cuts to him regenerating. Maybe a little kind of. Maybe I think this is just like a fan thing, just like because Ben and Polly they go and they bang on the door. They're like, open up, Doctor, and at that point, because of course, the TARDIS is going mad, but he manages to sort of open the door for them to get him, and they sort of go in, they sort of see him, they turn him about, and he regenerates. So, just as a petty fan thing, I probably would have definitely have just been like, right, get the two back in to bang on the TARDIS door, to go in, to turn the Doctor over, and then he regenerates. But it was interesting sort of having that scored, that kind of moment. It was very interesting, and it's going to be interesting sort of watching 10th Planet back with sort of all that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different context rewatching it. If you do feel the same way as Adam and feel that end scene was not justified with Ben and Polly, you can go to Adam Ortuvia's channel and watch that scene recreated. With Ben and Polly banging on the door.
Yeah.
If that was the pinnacle bit of the episode. I reckon there was more filmed. There was an interview with the actress playing Polly and said there were some men on the set. And I think there was a bit of a break between filming Dr. Falls and Twice Upon a Time. There was like a few break.
Yeah.
So I reckon there definitely was more filmed. Obviously down to editing, it's like, well, what do you need to show?
Yeah,
what don't you?
I mean, this is a 60-minute story. I think maybe just for that, I just like, but maybe they could have added 25 minutes and then done the whole of episode 4, but something mad like that, because I don't know whether that was kind of a thing. It's just like, is this just your excuse? We're going to bring Bradley in to do more. I mean, Bradley's going to do more stuff. He's got the Big Finish stuff and everything. So like River Song in 2015 with the Husband's River Song, and then it's set up for Big Finish. It's done the same thing. It's sort of the First Doctor, and then it's like, all right, now you can listen to more adventures with the First Doctor Big Finish. So it's sort of nice that it does sort of carry on a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to pick up that box set now. I do really want to see more David Bradley as the First Doctor. Phil Hill says, I think they realised that they were poor substitutes visually, so dropped Ben and Polly towards the end. Could be possibly why. Yeah, good indication. So David Bradley, I think, he loves and relishes, I think, playing the First Doctor.
For sure.
Obviously gets a full chance to here, in full context, because obviously when obviously did a really good job, but he's playing in the context of playing William Hartnell.
And doing very much doing reconstructed stuff, and even here there's reconstructions of stuff as opposed to new material.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, I think it's fair to say me and you were quite precautious about him playing the First Doctor. I know you did a video on like the Who Addicts talking about why it shouldn't be. And I'm sure many fans.
Yeah, I did, and I wasn't. I think Adventure Space and Time. I think one of the things I guess maybe people they weren't quite sure on how he sort of did the First Doctor. He was brilliant as William Hartnell and truly carried the job as the actor, but it was kind of maybe sort of. I mean, I think he did. He's a great actor and does a very good job, but whether it was the First Doctor, but I think since then he's been able to develop and really kind of get into the Doctor, and he didn't really have. I guess his main focus was William Hartnell rather than the Doctor. It was that story. So not being much in the way of the First Doctor was fine, but then when he gets a chance and does very well certainly and of course it is Bradley's voice, and there are I don't expect. I mean, even Bradley's like when it's not meant to be a full 100% impression. Maybe there is still sort of qualities that he could add. I just meant story. I guess I was a little confused story wise, but it is the two Doctors refusing to regenerate, and then time fucks up. I was like, there is, and even Moffat was like, well, there is a story now. I was like, okay. I think it was the context. I was confused about the context of what was going to be in the next episode, but then everything got cleared up a little better, and we saw more of it, and it was fine. And he definitely seemed to have the bite that Hartnell had, being convicted and convinced, rather than he kind of. I guess in a sense there was a little bit of Cushing about him as well. Peter Cushing, movie Doctor,
big screen movie.
Yes, but I watch it on the TV. Because of course it was a movie, but there was a bit of Cushing in there as well. But I think he did very well. And of course, elephant in the room. I didn't like the sexism at all. I thought it was completely out of character. It didn't really further the First Doctor character in any sort of way. There was, I think, sort of, especially sort of the glass line in the classic TARDIS. I really was like, this is just horrible. Especially something on Christmas Day. This is Christmas Day television, and it's not. I don't really see it as something appropriate, I guess. But that's just me. I did feel it got a little out of hand. Especially from what I thought, because I sort of it was sort of, I knew before that there was going to be that kind of thing, but then it wasn't just one or two. It was a few, like probably like 4 or 5, and it just kept going, and it wasn't for me.
No, that was literally going to be my next topic point, really. I can understand of like the concern of it. Obviously, it is meant to really it's just represent the view of the program itself. Obviously, there was a couple things, but I think it was over exemplified. It was just played for laughs really in this episode, which I think it's just a misrepresentation of the First Doctor, really.
Yeah.
Although he did spend a bit of time on Earth, and maybe did the odd line, so it's more of a commentary of the times, really, as opposed to the First Doctor. But obviously, the First Doctor character is affected.
I mean, the smack bottom line was, that was fine because, it's Dalek invasion of Earth when he's like, oh, what you need is a jolly good smack bottom. It's just, that's fine.
Yeah, and then. Yeah, that was fine. And then, like you said, you have lines in the TARDIS where he's like, "Oh, I've been with other sexes, and I've done all this."
Oh yeah,
I don't even picture that. Like, God damn. But there was some stuff like the smack bottom line, which was quite funny in context. And obviously the Capaldi being his nurse. That was quite funny. But, it did go a bit OTT in places, but. I can understand the concern. I didn't mind as much as other people. but there we go. Um, Gaynor says no one can recreate the first Doctor better than David Bradley's. He's much better at it than Richard Hartnell was. Yeah, I don't know. I quite like Richard Hartnell in the Five Doctors. I thought he was quite funny. Not the perfect portrayal.
Yeah,
but I think he did a pretty.
I
good
mean,
job.
that was just kind of one-off, really. That was his only first Doctor, and cause
Yeah,
I like maybe it was the fact that also Troughton and Pertwee and all that were in the special. You can kind of, I can kind of just, yeah, I think he was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I liked how they explained. I knew they were going to do something like this. They explained why his face was a bit different, like trying to change regeneration. I like that little line. That was quite a nice little line. Um, but yeah. Overall, yeah, I really enjoyed Joe Brady's portrayal. I think overall, like even with the scenes overly sexist and stuff like that, I think he did convey them really well. And a particular stand up for me rewatching the episode yesterday was a scene where he's explained to Bill his curiosity of the universe, and why he sees it. Like he's trying to sort of theorize, like, why is there a good over a balance? Why is this blah blah blah? Which is quite funny.
I like the line. I think also near the end, it's like, so this is what it's like to be a Doctor of War. It's just, so this is, you know, sort of seeing sort of the effect that the 12th Doctor's made, and you know, he definitely feels, you can tell he's definitely a lot more encouraged. And it's all about, I guess, that arc of both Doctors being encouraged and, you know, feeling like this is what should happen. This is, you know, letting go. And it's sort of like, it's just kind of weird. It's just like both this and Star Wars Last Jedi is all about, right, it's letting go of the past. It's being able to move forward and move on and rejuvenate and regenerate, as the program always does, as things always do, as franchises always do. You know, they always try to have this this step of moving forward. And and it's kind of odd in a sense, like the 50th, when we had the 50th, like this is going to be like the new chapter in the Doctor's life, and then we sort of, at first you sort of have this Doctor, which is quite, and there are quite some, you know, a few classic references in his era, a few kind of similarities to the sort of older Doctors, and then and then this is definitely pushing about and going completely different. Our first female Doctor. And I'm sure the many regenerations from this new future, it's certainly changing and experimenting. Because I definitely feel like Capaldi's era, maybe in the summation, is all about experiment. Considering episodes like Heaven Sent, where he's literally on his own and things like that. It's all about experimenting with this Doctor Who formula and moving forward with, you know, new ways of storytelling and such. And that's what franchises, you know, fantasy franchises are currently doing at the moment. So that's so cool.
But I can both agree from people who were reservant about him being in the episode. He did a really stellar job, and honestly can't wait to continue his portrayal in the Big Finish stuff. It would be interesting to see him return, but I don't see it happening.
I don't either, to be honest.
No, I think now he's on Big Finish. Let him have that reign, you know. Philip Arthur says maybe the first Doctor is sort of character because we found out his body is in flux mid-regeneration. So many things with him, i.e., Sexist, is a product of it. Yeah, I guess it could be portrayed as that. It'd be quite interesting. But
I mean, Tom Baker was really angry during Legopolis, and that he was on the midst of change. But Tom Baker was just genuinely pissed at what was going on.
I think obviously with Capaldi, it is really interesting. Like they can control it. Do you know what I mean? Like so much. Like, but I guess the master can control it. That the last time was to sort of let him die. So, you know, Dave Bradley, few qualms, but overall really good portrayal. So next we have the return of Pearl Mackie as Bill Potts. Now, two-sided coin, really. Obviously, they gave her an ending, but they were bringing back in it. I didn't mind them bringing back. I didn't really care. I just loved the character of Bill and Pearl's betrayal in Series 10, so I didn't mind that. But obviously, the way they brought her back was really interesting. Obviously, she was not the Bill we know, but she's one of the glass people, and she had the memories of Bill. Quite annoying at times, but obviously they were just trying to hit home the point of like, oh, the memories are so important, yada yada yada. But she kept saying, "I am Bill, I am Bill." It's like, yes and no, yes and no. But she was quite resilient about the 10th Doctor that. But yeah, no, it was really interesting the way you brought her back. You had that really emotional kick of her being in it. And I think I don't see the episode without her, really. I think she really did bring a really nice spin to the character of Bill and the companion role. Yeah, what did you think of the twist of her being one of the glass people?
I thought that was a very interesting way to bring her back as sort of, the per se a memory, and I guess it sort of matches up with the Doctor Falls, just like he's sort of been remembering sort of all his companions sort of been in his head, and he's sort of been reminiscing, and those kind of visions that he's had in the Doctor Falls, they're all kind of right in front of him, sort of represented in sort of this glass form, and of course later with Nardole and Clara as well. So
yeah,
I thought that was quite cool, the way they did that, and there were some nice acting moments between the two. I think it was quite fun. I think Moffat was just like, I mean, I can't imagine Bill being that, and Bill, interacting with the first Doctor, and yeah, and they certainly played a really good dynamic, and yeah, it was completely nice sort of. It was definitely a surprise sort of how this were to be, but it was very nicely done and worked well for the story. I think definitely.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, yeah, I completely agree, mate. It was something that obviously sort of pleases the fans, that sort of gave her an ending about like sort of like a new-ish twist. But yeah, I think gave her a really nice spin to play Bill again, So yeah, I really enjoyed the character of Bill, and I thought it was great to see her back. Phil Hill says, I like that this is Bill from just before she died. I guess she never aged after turning into Water Girl, but died eventually. Yeah, it's quite interesting because obviously with Clara and Bill, obviously with their return, obviously they're taking the shape of that. But Nardole, I guess he died shortly after fighting the Cybermen then.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll be talking about cameos in that and such in a bit. And finally, next we have Mark Gatiss as the Brigadier. Not the Brigadier. I've just got Mark Gatiss, Brigadier, obviously talking about the other stuff. Yeah, I remember seeing the thing and the trailer, Comic-Con. I remember just thinking, why is Mark Gatiss in it? Oh God! Well, obviously, it was meant to be Moffat wanted his best mate in it. But obviously, it doesn't really justify him being in it. However, it was really taken back a surprise. I was expecting some sort of twist for his character, but obviously it never happened. Obviously, there was a nice Easter egg of him being related to the Brigadier, but he was just captain. He gave really great performance. Obviously paralleling the first Doctor and the 12th Doctor's thing of having to die. Having that sort of fixed point, like obviously all of them are sort of like at the opportunity to sort of be, hang on, we don't have to die. We could just regenerate or obviously which one of us die, etc. But yeah, I think he gave a really good performance. What are your thoughts on Mark Gatiss and the captain character?
Mark Gatiss, man, he was very good actor in this. I think this is probably my favorite Mark Gatiss role. Yeah, actually, I pretty much agree. I mean, I think the material and his acting capabilities. I think this is certainly my favorite performance of Mark, because of course he was Richard Lazarus and he was Gantok and a few other bits and pieces, and Mycroft and Sherlock. And this is my favorite Doctor character he's played, and he did it very well. He was believable. He was, I was very attached to the character for sure. And I love the fact that of course there was that break of peace at the Christmas armistice, and he's like, oh, wounded man, because it was all about that kind of that building that tension between him and Toby Whithouse of whether you know, whether who was going to get the bullet, or both and all and such. So yeah, I think he did very believable, and it was a nice little twist. And I think it was quite cool. Lines was just like, will you, you know, go see my family, and you know, give them, you know, message to my family, and they're like, yeah, sure. And like the Brigadier, and it's like, that sort of moment the Doctor realizes, and he's like, oh well, that you will definitely be assured that will happen. I just thought that was really nice. He is essentially still looking over his best friend, like his really good friend, even now. There's there's the Brigadier, you know, that's still with the program. That character sort of still lives on, the legacy still lives on within the program, which I think is really, really nice. And it's been something, you know, Moffat's addressing whether you're a Song of Heaven, other episodes, and Kate Lethbridge Stewart essentially being, you know, new member of unit, daughter running everything. I guess we won't see her now, sad. But yeah, it was brilliant and a nice resonant of Doctor Who history.
Yeah, it's nice to think that all the sort of Brigadier family members, past and present, and the future, I guess, always find their way into the Doctor's like whereabouts if they're in trouble. Like, Philip highlights a really amazing scene I thought was really great, where they represent the Doctor's charges and the sort of names he's been given over the past.
That's right, yeah.
I thought it was a really good way of sort of catching the first Doctor up to speed, but also showing the audience how much he's come. Do you know what I mean? How many lives he's led, and all the different scenarios that have made him the 12th Doctor. You know, do you know what I mean? If you sort of like look in 20 years' time from ourselves, for example, like we're 40 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see what experiences we have that change us and what makes us people, I guess. So yeah, I really love that scene. Obviously, using stock footage and past lines, etc., and stuff like that. So onto the villains now. Well, I say villains, but they're not really villains, were they? they as Capaldi says, they had quite a good plan. Obviously, rating back to New Earth, I really like that. I was like, hey, New Earth. Just to promote their new Big Finish New Earth series. Have you seen the cover for that, Adam?
Oh, but Tales from New Earth. Oh dear.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder how the sales go for that. I don't think that'll do very well, to be honest.
I mean, definitely with the new series license, they've certainly gone above and beyond to give us a lot of different range of audios. We're getting Jenny. I mean, people wanted to. There was a fan base for Jenny, I guess. You know, people liked, and of course, after the Doctor's daughter, she left, so get more adventures of her. War Master, Brave Bradley. They're certainly doing more than because, of course, can you really do 9? And I guess they're maybe doing 11, but 11 Doctor stories. Yeah. But for the moment, we're sort of also expanding that sort of, you know, using monsters and sort of aspects of continuity of New Who into box sets. So. Yeah, and I guess I can see this, maybe even Jenny as well, sort of maybe not selling as well as, you know, War Doctor and 10th Doctor as well.
No. Yeah, I can agree. I'm surprised they haven't done the Paternoster gang yet.
But they brought in Strax for crossover with Jago and Lightfoot, which I hear is very good.
Yeah, no, that was, I remember seeing the cover for that. But I'm not that invested in the characters, so I didn't really pick it up. But I guess it'd be quite funny. So obviously the Glass people, obviously, they call themselves Testimony, I think. But obviously it was played by the woman, I can't remember the actress' name, but so the second episode of Series 2, where she in that episode she played a really, really interesting part with her sort of not knowing she was this like horrible killing alien species. but in this, obviously, I think the point of this episode is obviously not to have this massive threat. Like, it was just sort of like Moffat said in the Doctor Who fan show interview that it was sort of the Doctor making up a problem just so he could keep going as he was, which is quite an interesting way of looking at it. What did you think of the whole testimony idea and
there wasn't. Oh, I guess there wasn't a lot. I mean, the actress. I guess she certainly didn't get a lot of screen time or much as in the way of involvement. I guess like Ben and Polly. What a shame. It's weird that she was pretty decent in it. She worked at New Earth, or she was at the something of there was that New Earth throwaway reference.
Yeah, I think she was a scientist, wasn't she?
Possibly.
The actress' name is Nikki Amuka Bird. Thank you, Matt, for that.
Thank you. Don. Yeah, she said. I think maybe that's sort of why I'm not. Her character, I guess, it didn't leave much impact for me, and those kind of scenes, I wasn't hugely invested in because I think the lack of screen time and sort of the kind of info dumping and everything. That's I guess maybe I didn't take away much in the case of her involvement in the episode. But yeah, I mean the scenes she was, I mean particularly the stuff at the beginning was done quite well. But I think it's just kind of it didn't leave much impact for me, I guess, going forward, and it was not certainly not what I took from the episode. I can't really imagine many people did as well, but maybe they did. But I am interested to see what you guys think, because I haven't rewatched it since Christmas Day, so it is kind of it's sort of picking up on sort of certain other moments. You take away other moments to yourself,
right?
And sort of leave others sort of behind that don't really connect with you. So that's kind of that was probably the weakest part for me.
Yeah, I think that was the bit of the episode that dragged for me, really. The problem was it was a really, really like high stakes concept. Like it was something that could like change the sort of whole Doctor Who thing of death. And it was just like where these beings come from, but that wasn't the main focus, was it? So that was a shame. But I think they could have been used in their own right. But obviously, like you said, if in context, it isn't really that important. Matt says, between Missy and these guys, lots of people grabbing us before we die. Yeah, like it's a bit of a lottery, really. Like, we're going to get taken by Missy and turned into Cybermen, or just plucked out by these people. Dean Jones says, out of curiosity, will you be doing a retrospect on the Moffat era? Maybe. It's something I could consider. I don't know yet. I'm not too sure. I'd like to do like a Moffat era trailer, maybe do like a Rusty Davis and Moffat era, but we'll have to see. So we had 2 companion cameo returns. The most I'll say important, but the most, either you'll be screaming up and down for joy or face palming in your hand, was the reappearance of Jenna Coleman as Clara, and also the Doctor having the restored memories of Clara, which in a way I'm pleased with, only because it sort of uncanonizes Hellbent, I guess. Like it just makes Hellbent, it's like, shh, that was not important. It doesn't matter. What do you think of Clara's return?
I kind of thought this was going to happen. This is it wasn't the case of this is the first face this face saw kind of thing. It was done very differently. That's kind of cool. Yeah, well, as long as they uncanonize Hellbent, that is great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was just like I think it maybe was important for fans of of the era and I guess closure. Clara was quite a significant part in his era, so it's good for those fans to have that moment. It was a decent moment. The fact that the glass was the representation of the memories and such. They were memories. Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't. I was just like kind of like this. It was in her contract probably. Just be like, oh yeah, after helping, it's like, oh yeah, you come back for this little scene. It was very interesting. I believe that was sort of the last thing they filmed, considering her I think she was filming Victoria at the time, and that was like a very heavy schedule. So I think they, particularly, I sort of looked at her, like the first shot of her, you're like, something looks off. Certainly, whether they, I don't know, green screened her. But it kind of was maybe a green screen, essentially just getting her into a studio, getting her in costume and green screen stuff. So kind of incorporate that in there. So yeah, decent.
Yeah, it definitely did look out of place. I think you're completely right. What a green screen, and it was meant to be this. I think obviously they filmed all the stuff outside, and that was the only film on green screen, which I think why it stood out the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I completely agree. It's nice to think that Capaldi's memory is restored for closure of his era. You know, that all those episodes throughout Series 10 that he has sort of filtered memory for, he now has back.
Fully restored. And he remembered Clara in the Doctor Falls, so I guess that.
Yeah.
It was
well, yeah. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, obviously Nardole as well came back.
He was real. He was on set.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He was on set. He didn't green screen or anything.
Right. He decided to. Matt Lucas decided to trench through all the horrible mess of the mud and get free to Capaldi. Yeah, it wasn't. It was nice, but wasn't necessary. It did add a bit of humor, but it did take me out a bit of it anyway. I was like, oh Nardole, and it did spoil the sort of emotional moment between Pearl and Bill. But again, I thought it was a nice touch to have him back, just to have that completion of all the companions of the Capaldi era. Yeah, were you pleased to see Matt Lucas as Nardole back?
It's me, Nardi. Yeah, he was fine. There was a line. Oh my god, that line. And I'm sorry, kids of the audience, where it's just like, glass nipples or something. There was a really weird line with him, and there was that hugs thing. I think he's certainly like in characters, particularly with that hug. He's like, hug. Sort of similar thing of oxygen and things like that. It didn't really bother me because, I mean, the Doctor and Bill that shared the entire episode, together, and there was definitely emotional payoff in regards to just those two. And I think Nardole was just a nice little extra, and there are fans of Nardole, and he has become a meme. And it's nice that he's now been in 3 consecutive Christmas specials. In a row.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, yeah, that's quite true actually. The Nardole. That'd be a trade I'll be doing. Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about the cameos now. We've got kind of nice the Doctor got his memories back of Clara. Clara did look out of place, but it's 2 years later, like Karen Gunner with the wig when Matt's regeneration happened. That was from Matt. He also goes on to say Matt Lucas was a trooper to get through the mud. He definitely was. Dean Jones says at least Clara didn't appear in the diner TARDIS. Thank goodness. Oh yeah, that would have been terrible. That would have been really, really terrible. But yeah, I think it still has to be done. Those cameos. Do you mean it is? It's just sort of like, oh, it's Moffat. You're not going to see these characters again. Like with Series 11, it's going to be a complete restart. So. Else is there, I guess, and it was a touching thing of, it made sense in the context of the episode. It wasn't. It didn't feel out of place. I didn't feel anyway. But yeah, so now we get on to the regeneration, I guess. We could also talk about Capaldi's briefly. But yeah, so we have the regeneration into Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor. with the first words either "Oh, brilliant" or "Ah, brilliant." I thought it was "Oh, brilliant." Did you think "Oh, brilliant," Adam? Or was
I
it
thought it
"Ah,
was
brilliant"?
brilliant. Oh, but she says, but
Oh,
the actor is brilliant, but we say oh was something maybe you kind of hear it differently. She's keeping the accent, which is I think actually I think it is good considering Capaldi kept his, but we didn't allow Tennant to give his and such. It's nice that she kept hers. Yeah, it's definitely brilliant, and I'm intrigued to see what more she speaks. You know, what will her next lines be?
Yeah, they just confirmed for me she was going to be in a northern accent. I was wondering whether she was going to keep that or not, but you know, if the Ninth Doctor can do it, so can Jodie. I really love this scene. It really exceeded my expectations. I think some of the comments earlier perfectly described it as like a sort of parallel of what the fans think. Like she's just like, "Oh, you're a woman now. Get out, get out." Like the doctors, the TARDIS is joining the section of the fandom that despises a female doctor for whatever reason. I really liked it. It sort of sets everything apart. Then as opposed to this sort of standard, oh, we're crashing. Like, obviously the doctor doesn't feel like they're they're in danger. It's just like, oh, we're crashing for excitement. But this time, she got kicked out of the TARDIS. She's gone. She's falling to her death, I guess. Imagine if that was the last episode. And they were just like, "Hey, good to feel a doctor." No, bye, get out. The scene really exceeded my expectations. I thought, it was just, it was really sad to see that TARDIS blow up. Because I've been on it numerous times. I know Adam has as well.
Indeed, yes.
What did you think of that scene? What did you think of the?
I think I'll also sort of say that Capaldi's speech was quite cool. It's nice. It's a very good exit.
Yeah.
Doctor Falls is quite cool, but yeah. Anyway, Jodie. It was very interesting how they did it. Like I thought there would have been more. It was just O'Brien and a few little like but I guess the less we. I think the more I think I did want more. It was kind of strange. I think sort of now seeing her in 12's costume, and I love the direction, even like the first person kind of perspective. She's sort of like kind of grabbing to look, and I think the way it was shot, I think was really like. I think that also made me like, this is a really cool kind of style. I mean, it's still Rachel Talalay sort of still doing it. It's not they kind of switch directors or anything. And Chibnall, it's kind of Chibnall just like sort of setting it up so that he is going to have a new TARDIS and things are going to be different. I'm actually very intrigued to see what where the story goes. She's clearly it's going to be kind of earthbound for TARDIS. Will probably be off as it is for kind of post regeneration. The TARDIS will regenerate as well, and we'll get something new and something cool. It does leave me very kind of actually intrigued to see how intrigued. And I wasn't so sure about female Doctor, but I think watching the scene, I'm like, this is something new, this is something bold, this is something different, and I'm intrigued. And it's certainly going to shape something new up with the dynamic and the range, the writing style and the aesthetic of the program. And it is one that I'm actually very intrigued to embrace. I'm happy to embrace it. Right now, I'm not overly excited, as it were, but I am very much intrigued and looking forward to seeing this direction. It still kind of leaves you unsure of where they're going to take it, but she's arrived and it's going to be quite a roller coaster, and I'm intrigued, and it's hopefully going to be quite exciting come the autumn.
Yeah, brilliant. Touching upon Capaldi's thoughts on that, I did enjoy it. It was. I remember watching it the first time, obviously in the screening, and there was a few things like, what did he say? and there was so much, and it goes on for like 3 minutes. It's, it's really, really drawn out. But there were some nice things in there. I think I just give like a very theatre-esque performance, I guess. But yeah, like I just want to shout out to Rachel Taylor.
Yes, indeed.
The director stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, she really knows how to make Doctor Who look cinematic. Do you
For sure.
The finale and all the stuff she's done, she's really gave Doctor Who an edge, I feel. I wish she could direct every episode, really, but yeah, the shot when you see all the smoke.
Yeah.
The ring shot as well. That was as when that ring fell to the floor, like I felt like my stomach had been punched. And I was like, oh god. But it was I just thought amazing stuff. What did you think of the morph itself? Because obviously it's echoing back to Capaldi's first shot in the 50th with the eyes. Do you have any thoughts on that? Or
yeah, it was a really nice effect. It was different, and of course, a nice little echo to the first shot. I quite like the fact that I think it was there, and there's another close up, I think, or something, and you can see the eyes sort of the top of the set, which is quite nice. Like cinematic, like the cinematography as well. It just makes it look really nice, and yeah, it was quite a cool effect. I wasn't a fan, I guess, of the actual regeneration effect. Not when it's close up, but sort of the wider shot of it. It looked really odd and bizarre, but I guess he's holding it in for so long that it does go it was quite a big one. So
I guess that's the way to look at it. I'm just like Adam said, there was not a lot to desire, I guess, but it was really excited, sort of like giving you sort of little crumbs. And it was like, tell me more, and it's like 2018, mate. So a few questions, people commenting about stuff. Nighthound Who says, any ideas about Series 11, Episode 1 and how they recover from that ending? I think you'll next see Jodie in the EastEnders fight sequence falling from the sky and landing in the Thames. I don't know. I don't know how she's going to survive that fall. Unless she's going to do like a Capaldi thing where like he calls the TARDIS back, but obviously like the TARDIS is gone now. It's flown off somewhere. David Who says the Doctor could be Earthbound again after the TARDIS console explosion. That'd be quite an interesting dynamic. Like, it will be nice to see that. I think the TARDIS will be back probably by the end of the episode, of the first episode, unless they do go do a sort of like Tom Baker thing where you've got the sort of like just going around space with little portals. That'd be quite funny. Phil Hill says, I think it will be the Dr. Broadchurch. You will find the TARDIS at the end of the series. I guess that'd be quite a weird thing, but I think they are doing multiple stories, aren't they? But maybe it could be completely Earthbound. I don't know. All the locations I've heard, anyway, they've gone sort of South Africa to film, etc. So maybe it could be that. Dean Jones, hi Dean. Really like Jodie's reveal. Looking forward to where Chibnall and Whittaker take the series in Series 11. It's just exciting to know the series going in a new direction, and I think it will reignite the Doctor Who excitement flame, I guess. Matt asks, most people seem to assume the Doctor will get the ties back soon, but I wonder if she will get it back at all in the next series. If it's bad or a good way to have new dynamics in the series. It might have been better to see Jodie start the news start to saw something, then get sucked out of the TARDIS mid-sentence, like "Oh, new teeth," blah blah blah. Yeah, what do you think, Adam, about the idea of it having a series without the TARDIS?
Well, it worked for John Pertwee. There was some cool like Earthbound invasion stories. I think it'll be fine. I think as you know, the dynamic will still be there of they're still bouncing back, and such. I'm sure, you know, it could be a mid-series thing. They could do it for maybe half a series, and then they get the TARDIS back, and they do visit an alien planet, and we do get maybe something in the lines of something a bit more conventional in the terms of visiting alien planet, doing a historical piece and such. So as long as there is a wide range of variety of what they do in every story, that's brilliant. And I'm not quite sure. I'm sure, yeah, they are going to get multiple writers in. I assume it will be sort of Chibnall carrying this arc. So
yeah,
yeah, I kind of yeah.
it could not.
It could go either way. It certainly could go either way.
Yeah.
It sort of depends on who's on board and what they want to do with it. Because
right.
I'm not quite. I don't think there has been any other like writers. I think like Chib will do the first most likely, and then there'll probably be a few others. I know Mark Gatiss is just like this is like my last involvement, but I think maybe I think Chibnall is happy for him to carry on. I think that was sort of in a recent interview, Gatiss saying that possibility. I'd probably like completely new writers, to be honest. That's probably it for me. Because Series 10 was all about, I guess, loads of returning writers from sort of Party's era, and now I'm just like, I'd like to see sort of certain, or maybe writers we haven't had for a while. I guess that'd be quite cool. I mean, Chibnall hasn't written for Doctor since 2012, so and especially since he's matured with Broadchurch, it'd be very interesting for him to revisit this world again, writing, see his writing style evolve and change. Because I'm sure very much be very much different to his previous Doctor Who was when he has been under different showrunner.
It would definitely be. I don't think Mark Gatiss will return. If he did, it would be like for a few years' time. But I think it's something that happens later on, as you're like Adam said. You need that sort of new, fresh take. Dean Jones, do you think the overnight figures for Jodie's first episode will be the biggest in years since Chris Chibnall was a new showrunner bringing in Broadchurch audiences? And those who don't watch the series anymore have never watched it before. Want to see what Jodie will be like as the Doctor. I'm not sure on the viewing figures, but I do think it is going to bring in a whole new audiences. I've talked to people, numerous people, friends that will have literally no interest in Doctor Who, have no interest in Doctor Who whatsoever, but want to see how Jodie gets on. And people who love Broadchurch are interested as well. So I think it's going to draw in a lot more audiences. As the Doctor has been on a decline audience figures for a while. But I do think it is going to bring in. It's going to be a massive audience. I think that first episode. Excuse me, trying to find out what this new female Doctor's like, which hopefully will captivate audiences and get everybody back onto the show again. Matt says it's a good excuse to have Captain Jack back because the Doctor's no TARDIS and needs help. If nothing else, it'll make me and John Barrowman happy. What is the status of Captain Jack? I haven't listened to the new series of Big
of Torchwood. No, neither have I. But I'm sure. Well, I think Chib will probably be in favour because wasn't it at a convention he was like, oh, he could come back if somebody leaves and they bring someone else. Like John Barrowman sort of made that kind of cheeky kind of, well, it could be, kind of thing. Yeah. I've just been doing I just went on to Doctor Who TV. I was interested because of the overnight viewing figures. I think they've been revealed for Twice Upon a Time. I was wondering because I sort of saw the number. I was like, I think sort of compared to other episodes like this year, it has done pretty well. Because like we've had I've just seen the Eaters of Light apparently 2.89 million, which is quite low, and I think it's either just as low or lower than the McCoy era, which is not really like the most viewed. It kind of ranges from like 2.8. I think like the highest is around 5, yeah, just like nearly 6. Yeah, actually, yes, around 6-ish kind of million views and such. So I think apparently, I think it's probably in the top 5 most viewed in case of Doctor Who. I think so, and yeah, it's not like I guess it's not like because I feel like I think City of Death Part 4 I think still holds the record as the most viewed Doctor Who story. It was either Part 1, Part 3. It was an episode of City of Death. I mean, there was Voyage of a Damned Day of the Doctor. I think got quite high viewing figures. It's not as it used to be, but yeah, as because you were saying, you were hoping for hopefully a surge in viewing figures, and I think with hopefully the marketing and sort of the face, like to see kind of the face of the brand, what they're going to be doing with sort of exhibitions, merchandise, conventions, lunch boxes, rice pudding, etc., etc. Yeah. Do you know what would be? I would love like a logo reveal, maybe in the new year or something like a picture to kind of be like, we're in the new year, 2018. Boom! They do like a logo, or they give us another cast.
I was kind of expecting something at the end of the Christmas special, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe like a specially filmed tease just for that, like not even part of the episodes, but just her maybe revealing the logo. I don't know.
Maybe like just like she walks like past the camera in a costume or something with a sonic with a new sonic screwdriver or something. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll come in time.
Yeah. And I think leading up to it, I think there's a few people asking when the series will start. I reckon August, September.
Yeah, I mean they started filming already, haven't they? And it's 10, so yeah, they should be able to do it.
Yeah. Which is all good. So yeah, we're through the coming months we'll be seeing new filming and hopefully new reveals of what the series will be looking like, the new series. There's a lot of people talking about the sort of the decline TV, and I completely agree. It's more of a general problem the BBC sort of TV has. Like we are in a digital age now, TV is becoming quite redundant. I don't think there will be TV much longer. Like it would just be, oh, you can watch it online. Go watch it online. We don't need TVs anymore. But yeah, it is definitely in decline. But 2018 autumn is the rumored date at the minute. So so it is definitely going to be sort of later in the year. But like Callum said, we'll have stuff to look forward to. Matt says, I'm in the US, so I feel like I'm in a different dimension from British fans. Months for the Shada release. What?
Oh no!
No way! That's a what? Yeah, blimey. Yeah, that is. I can't believe that. I thought it'd be released at the same time, but
yeah, that is odd.
Well, I think you could buy a line, hopefully, so that'll be right. Phil Hill says Sonic lipstick. I don't think. Yeah, I think that was a Sarah Jane thing, wasn't it? So I don't think they'll do that. But again, that'd be quite like sexist, wouldn't it? So, not sexist, but it'd be sort of quite like sort of put a damper on it, I guess. But yeah, I guess they've done it with Sarah Jane. But it'd be cool to get a different color scheme, I guess. To be honest, if they just, I would like them to keep the sort of screws they've got. It's such a great design.
They've only used it for one series.
I know, yeah. I remember at the end of Hellbent, and it was like, oh my god, and it was like, I have to wait a whole year, and I was like, no, I want that Sonic. So also obviously Steve Moffat leaving. We also have Murray Gold departing the show as well. This episode really was a Murray Gold fanfare of music. it was just like I'm not sure if any new music was used at all, really.
No, not really.
No, I don't know. It was just something that was that just kept sort of like, it was like, oh that theme. Um, so I guess he was just like, that's a final one. I like the use of the failed cam with the first Doctor regeneration. And obviously the all creatures great all the monsters music at the beginning. I think the breaking the wall song used was really really nice. And I think they also used the husband's room song theme when he's contemplating about regeneration. That was quite nice. But yeah, what did you think of Murray Gold's reuse of music?
Yeah, he's done that before. I think the 50th, that was also another kind of celebration of his sort of various different kind of music that he's had. I think like the Brigadier theme was quite nice, like that Brigadier music that was used for the that moment at the end of the Wedding River song. Yeah, it was kind of it was an interesting moment. It's weird sort of seeing the first Doctor being scored by Murray Gold. Like when he's in the TARDIS and you hear Valet to Tune, it's kind of odd, but it's something you just like right, just embrace it. Yeah, it's good music. It's nostalgic. It's a it'll be interesting to see what the soundtrack will be like. Finally, we got Series 9. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, damn.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, and they used the Doctor's theme
that
for Jodie as well.
Yeah.
I'm a bit annoyed about that actually.
Oh,
right. I just thought maybe they would have been in the original piece for her, but it felt weird because we haven't had that since around Tennant era, I guess.
I guess because he's not continuing with her in a series. I guess he don't want to sort of make a theme for her, and then.
Yeah, I get that actually. Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
I guess he's just like, I'm just gonna go back to when I first started. 2005, Merry Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. It did give me goosebumps when I saw. I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was music has been really really sensational. There's parts which haven't been good, but and I think I'm glad he is leaving now because I think he has done a lot to, and I'm really appreciative for that. Doctor Who proms and that. Did you ever go to Doctor Who proms, Adam? Did you ever go to Doctor Who proms?
I did. Doctor Who Live.
That's the same as well. That was a really good show. It'd be interesting to see if they actually do any of that sort of thing going forward.
Oh, I'd love that. Great.
Dogs. That's an amazing username type. I think the gender change will change the dynamic of any villain. I think so, really. For example, the Sontarans don't see gender. Someone would be like, "You are the Doctor, you are a woman." Or just say, "You are the Doctor." Do you know what I mean? So into it, really. Obviously, you had Missy as well, and the only time they've had that said to her is to says like, "You're a woman." She's like, "Oh, am I?" Okay. I think it's something that sort of not making him poor, which is, I guess, quite nice. Just have a look at the comments.
I was going to say about.
What are you going to say? Sorry, mate.
I was going to say we were talking about the viewing figures. I imagine I think I've just seen like the actual regeneration has been uploaded to the Doctor YouTube channel. I think BBC have uploaded it well. I see that just getting just as much views. Probably, I mean, the actual announcement video of Jodie got a lot. So I'm thinking, I think this will be, really, it'll be watched by us probably repeatedly, just because we need our fixture.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be. I think it's trending right now. I think it's one of the highest viewed videos in the moment. So that's good. It's good.
I remember coming back on Christmas. I'm sure episode being really depressed again. After, yeah, it's the most trending in the UK. That's really cool. I remember sort of uh, coming back from obviously watching the episode, and I was just like, oh, I'm really depressed now. So I looked on YouTube, and it was there. Like it was literally uploaded. Literally must have been. Which is obviously, yeah, they're really promoting it. So fair play to them, yeah. So I guess it's nice that genuinely interested in this new female Doctor. There's no warning. David, who says my most personal favourite Mogul soundtrack is Listen. And any thoughts on who could replace Murray Gold? I have no idea. Like maybe Hans Zimmer. That would be like a dream, a dream casting of composers. And obviously, it was a guy who did Class. Adam, do you remember his name?
Blair Mowat.
Blair Mowat. Yeah, that obviously his name has been thrown around quite a lot. But I don't think he worked amazingly in Class. Like, did an amazing job with Class. I don't know the Doctor Who. What do you think, Adam?
I like the guy from Adventures in Space and Time. Edmund Butt was the name. I thought his score was absolutely brilliant and beautiful, and I thought maybe Murray would have been inspired maybe a little bit for him to the Bradley stuff, or maybe they could have done a duo thing. I don't know, but yeah, he'd be cool. The guy who composed Broadchurch has now denied that he is going to be doing Series 11, which is very interesting because they are considering a completely different name, which people, I mean, you kind of maybe got the thought Chibnall would just hire maybe be safe and hire crew and directors and such from Broadchurch, but
yeah.
he is kind of dipping into other names from sort of other television programs that he has not dabbled in, which is very good. So I like him. I like the guys who did Sherlock. I mean, they're out of a job, I guess, at the moment because that's not going to be returning. So they could be good. Yeah, I'm sure there's some really cool, talented composers. And yeah, I'm just very excited to hear the new theme. Actually, what that's going to be like.
Yeah, that's a big task. Yeah,
it is quite a big task because it's very iconic and. I mean, Capaldi scene was okay. I mean, I think my excitement actually came from how the title sequence was achieved visually, and there was kind of moments of the theme that I like. I think the screech, it took a while to get used to that. So
yeah,
they could do an absolute belt of a theme come later in 2018.
Yeah, that theme tune. Do you remember the screening for Deep Breath and the titles
Yes.
and he was like, oh, Edward, the clock works.
Oh yeah.
That was hilarious. Yeah, I really have enjoyed the theme tune. As when it's course though, I don't think it's got Vince now. I don't think it ever did. I remember my cat was sat on my lap. I think I was watching Time Heist, and that particular theme. I remember my friend saying to me, "It sounds like cats screaming." And I remember saying to him like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "Yeah, all right." But my cat literally was like, just I don't know if like the title sequence's sound was cat screaming. So I honestly don't know, but I think important thing with Doctor Who, pivotal things since the show started with creating sound effects which have lasted over 50 years and still sound unique and futuristic. but yeah, I appreciate what Girl's done, and it'd be a really hard job replacing him. However, I hope he does well in what he does after this. David Who says, me, I should be the composer. He happens to be a composer in real life.
Oh, wow. Yeah, David, please. I'd love to hear your version of the Doctor Who theme. Yeah. Will it be anything like the Carnival of Monsters theme or the Dimensions in Time theme? Or perhaps what I kind of want to go through favorites. I mean, I love the original Hartnell and Tom Baker and John Pertwee. I even like the Troughton version. Yeah. You've seen Shada, haven't you? Like, all the way through, Reese, haven't you?
Bits and bobs, but carry on talking about stories.
The theme and this theme was going to be the version. It was kind of a mix of the Hartnell and Troughton. It was Marquez who sort of did this arrangement, and it was, I think, that was going to be considered for series 1 of the new series. It was going to, they would go. I think there was sort of talks about perhaps using the original, kind of a new mix of the Delia Derbyshire theme, but it wouldn't have worked with the title sequence and such. So Murray kind of did his own arrangement, and that's my favorite new Who theme because. It is kind of modern and different take, but you still feel like you can hear the original kind of in there as such. So yeah.
Yeah. Just have a look at these comments. Matt says we have the actors and some of the sets. It's time to remake the lost episodes? ?
It has been talked about that, definitely, hasn't it? With Bradley sort of doing lost episodes, of course, one of the new material, a Big Finish. So, yeah, they had, they probably would. They have, episode 4 of 10 Planet that, that they could have done. I'm not 100% sure if I want to see a lot of recreation. I think maybe certain episodes. I don't know. I mean, I just enjoyed the fact that it kind of it kind of transitioned, I guess, from the original, just so you sort of, I don't know, maybe still have that kind of side by side kind of thing, and because I mean, some episodes are, and it would certainly take a lot to sort of fully do a full on episode, something like Marco Polo, that's 7 episodes, and that's all missing. I think that would be a challenge, sort of do that. But maybe with certain episodes that are partially missing, like the Crusades, I think that's half missing, and others are like half missing. So maybe like half missing it. Like if maybe we can still have that it'd be weird going Hartnell Bradley and then Hartnell Bradley, I guess. But yeah, I think it would certainly be a task. But I mean, something like 10 Planet episode 4 would be quite cool. And maybe half episodes, and it'd be bizarre, maybe just seeing a 16:9 coloured Marco Polo, unless they do convert it to 4:3 black and white. So, it'd be quite a challenge, but I'm open, I guess. It'd be alright. Could be alright. I mean, things like Shada, where it was a hybrid of many things, like the original footage, animation, and Tom Baker's stuff, and the model work. That was such a nice hybrid. That's what I think that's actually why I took to Shada, because it was a marriage of it was still using the original. It wasn't like a fully animated. They still had the original televised footage that they had shot, incorporated with the model work and incorporated with the animation and Tom Baker coming back. I enjoyed that kind of hybrid, lovely kind of tribute thing that Shada was, because Shada was kind of a mishmash of everything. Something like Shada, in the case of them doing a mixed match of things, of original footage and model work and animation and such, I'd be open to that. Definitely.
Yeah, I think animation is the way to go. Like, it obviously would be a dream to see David's. Obviously, I think many fans would like that, but I don't think it's.
And David's in demand.
He is in demand. Yeah.
And it's quite fun, especially with this episode, because you associate him, I think, like Filch from Harry Potter and Walder Frey from Game of Thrones, not characters. I don't think I think for many people in their heads, particularly with his most popular characters,
he hasn't. The Doctor is maybe a little departure from sort of what you kind of imagine Bradley playing. And it's quite cool, and it was actually quite cool maybe because of course with William Hartnell he was a bit a bit uptight, crotchety kind of in Event Space and Time, and then I think that this was definitely the Doctor. Even of course he was still like the crotchety kind of character. There was certainly that twinkle. He brought as well. So it's quite interesting. It was fun to sort of see David Bradley in a new kind of light, I guess, with the fact he was doing the first Doctor.
Yeah, no, it would be interesting to see. But again, it's something that it does have the wide audience appeal. But yeah, so a few more comments. Matt says there was a great article in Doctor Who magazine a year or two ago about the stage directions by for Marco Polo. It also was a new Shada good. I've not seen it fully. Have you seen it fully yet, Adam? Or?
I have seen the new Shada fully, and yeah, I feel that this is a step up from Power for Daleks, which is quite cool because, of course, I mean, Power for Daleks is kind of the first, kind of full-on, I guess, animated production. Then this came along, and it was a nice kind of hybrid using the live action footage, having some fantastic model work in there as well. With Mike Tucker of the team, Tom Baker coming back live action to do that lovely scene. The animation really good. The voice acting is very good with Tom Baker and Lala Ward and everyone from the cast. And it was an absolute love letter. And I will say it's a testament. I think it was a lovely tribute to Dudley Simpson. Because Mark Ayres, who was doing the music arrangements, echoing that kind of season 17, I think Shada probably, it was sort of around that point where it was sort of the last, Dudley Simpson's kind of last involvement when doing music for Doctor Who. So it was kind of a lovely, because there was like a nice little plaque after the episode. It's just a really nice love letter. They finally, it's definitely it's not split into 6. I'd say to many people, if people aren't sure whether it is like the full omnibus or split into 6 like intended, it is a stitched omnibus movie, but I think it's one you could sit through, grab some jelly babies, grab a beer, sit in your 4th Doctor scarves, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And especially if you like the previous version of Shada as well, if you like the scenes and you kind of want to actually see, and you kind of want to see what Tom Baker basically describes, then it's worth picking up, definitely.
Yeah, I'm really pleased I got it for Christmas. So tomorrow there will be a video of what I got for Christmas Doctor Edition.
Hey.
I probably will be watching it tomorrow for like pre-drinks. I think so. I will be watching that. Would you recommend with some alcohol? One thing we haven't mentioned, which I had written down, was the Almanta. No, I don't think I spell it.
Armistice.
Thank you, Adam. There you go, helping a dyslexic out. So this obviously was an event which was obviously dramatised in Twice Upon a Time, but it is an event which did happen.
Indeed.
It's such a it's a really strange moment in history where in World War One they stopped for an hour on Christmas Day, and instead of like killing each other, they went and played drawings, and it was just really, I thought, really beautifully conveyed in the episode, and really respected. I was watching it with numerous family members yesterday. The episode, and there's one person in the family didn't even know that actually happened in real life. So on the other hand, a person who was very much the both world wars. David who learned about it at school, and he was like, "WTF?" Yeah. But yeah, what did you think about that and how it paralleled the story?
It was absolutely. I think that those were my favourite moments of the episode. Sure, it was. It was heartfelt. It was warm. Kind of. When they especially there was like the scene with when like one of the soldiers like shows, I think it was like the British soldier shows a German soldier like a picture of his wife. There was a nice kind of sentimental touch and sentimental value, and especially sort of seeing the two doctors observe this event. And I believe this was the moment where Peter and David got quite emotional, and it wasn't the regeneration. It was kind of, you know, seeing this event being recreated so wonderfully and beautifully. And there's some nice sort of human dramatic moments, like even like with the captain going, "Oh, wounded man here," and it's such an extraordinary event in history. And I think the first I've actually heard of this event was the Sainsbury's Christmas advert from 2014, which basically from there was like 100 years since it was chronically 100 years since that event happened in Christmas 1914, about that kind of break of stop of not killing any, you know, that hour of peace, as it were. And it was at the beginning of World War One. It was very beginning, from 1914 to 1918. So it was pretty much at the very start of near the start, very few starts of World War One. And for Doctor Who, it was a really nice. It was just this kind of twinge of the human spirit, and something, you know, that I'm sure a lot of people, especially a lot of people with, you know, experience, this must have been those moments that really, and particularly for Peter and David on set as well, and for me and for the audience to kind of experience that and look upon it, and in this way, it was, you know, I think it was very poignant. The fact it was a Christmas episode as well, so terrific stuff.
Yeah, it was perfectly translated on the screen, I thought. I know you said obviously it is a Christmas episode, so what the heck? David Who says, "Wait, Adam, you didn't learn about it at school?" No, Sainsbury's was Adam.
Oh yes, I probably did, but Sainsbury's was the.
Sainsbury's got there first.
Yeah, Sainsbury's got there first, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when obviously that comment was made before the episode started. And obviously, initially people were theorising it was Susan being the link between the two, getting very emotional.
Oh yeah,
but it completely makes sense now, being sort of the Armistice event. But yeah, obviously, Seymour has had quite an obsession with World War II and One, having numerous stories in his ear about it. And it was just really nice, fitting tribute to those events, which was over 100 years ago, you know. Allegedly, there was 100 extras used in that scene, including YouTuber Tom Dix, aka Epic Who.
Indeed,
it's quite interesting. I remember, and it was quite funny because like you can't unsee it now. It's like, oh, there he is. Like, but yeah, no, there's numerous extras used for it. It was probably, I think, one of the most used extras in Doctor Who's history, apparently, according to Moffat, I think.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so one thing which I know a lot of people were theorising would happen or be touched upon, however, there was no question of it. And I know Billy, who's been on the channel before, was really excited about this, but it didn't happen, was the 50th and the Gallifrey storyline, which is a plot thread which has been going through the 50th and the Capaldi era, sort of on the hush. But many people theorised that this would be like a sort of like, oh, how this happened and how Capaldi. How do you feel about that not being brought up in Capaldi's final story?
I don't think it necessarily mattered. I think maybe it was. I was kind of thinking of it because of the kind of frozen time thing and the Gallifrey being the single moment and such. They would have tied that in and Capaldi's cameo and such. People just say it just to sort of be like, oh, we just wanted to see how they got there. I mean, all the other Doctors appeared in that one moment, and yet we're just like, well, how did they get? What's going on with them? So I don't think it was entirely less. I was like, I kind of just didn't want Moffat to touch Gallifrey after Hellbent.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of, that was something I was like, no, that should not happen. So I'm pretty much glad he, put his focus on of subjects, and particularly because he wasn't interested in doing much of Gallifrey anyway. I'd kind of be surprised if that were true, if he did do that for the final episode.
Yeah, it was. It was something I thought, like you said, the frozen time thing. I thought, oh, this is obviously going to relate to Gallifrey, and obviously there's rumours of Matt Smith coming back, but that never was the case. It was quite funny actually. After the screening, Billy did ring me up and he said, I just want to know one thing: is there anything to do with the 50th involved? Did they save Gallifrey? I was like, no, and he was like. And he was like, "Oh," he said, "I hope what I said. I hope what happens is you've told me that, and it does actually happen." I was like, "Okay." And he said to me yesterday, he's just like, he said, "Yeah, you were right, weren't you, you bastard?" I was like, "Well, yeah." But it's something. Initially, I thought it was going to be touched upon, but after watching, I was thinking, "Oh, well, no, actually, it doesn't really need to be mentioned." But like you said, Adam, I completely agree. But it's such a convoluted thing. It's just such a mess. Like Gallifrey's back. That's all Chubb needs to know. It's somewhere if he wants to go to it. But they still perceive it as lost. I don't know. But it would have been nice to have seen Capaldi obviously do his thing. Like, but again, it would have just distracted from I think the main goal of the episode, I guess. But yeah. So yeah, again, it's something that could have been touched upon, but Matt says we find out how 12 was in the 50th in the 60th. Lol, could happen too. Yeah, it could do.
Potentially.
Maybe potentially many things could happen in the 60th. You know, that'd be quite interesting to see where we are in the 60th. Like I think we'll probably be in the second incarnation of a female Doctor by then. I reckon if the female Doctor thing worked down well, but. Or even if show's still around by then, we don't know. But yeah, so I think that's everything we can talk about really about Twice Upon a Time. Do you have any thoughts or any questions you want to bring up, Adam? Or
I can't think of anything. We did cover quite a lot of the story, so I think I'm good.
Awesome, yeah. No, I think we've covered a lot. If there's any final questions, feel free to comment below. But yeah, so thank you for joining us in this spoiler talk about Twice Upon a Time. We're now in that stage of waiting for a new series to come along. Yesterday was really, really difficult. Like I thought because I'd already seen it and I'd sort of like not let go, but it was weird because I saw it about 10 days I think before the Christmas special. So it was sort of happened, and I was like, "It's really sad," but I was sort of pushing it off because I was sort of like, "Until Christmas Day, it's until Christmas Day." But yeah, it was just I did get a tear from near the end, which I don't get at all. But I've just been so invested in Capaldi's Doctor. It's just been real gut wrench. But I am excited now to see Jodie's betrayal, but Capaldi will be a Doctor that I think that will be remembered for many, many years to come. Hopefully, he's gave so much as a fan, advocate, leader for the show. For Jodie, I guess. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Everybody, closing thoughts, Adam, or anything you want to say?
Thank you, Peter Capaldi. You've been a terrific ambassador and a very brilliant actor in the role. While the era has been up and the era has been down, it's been a massive kind of roller coaster of different kinds of stories and emotions and characters and all that kind of thing we experienced. But I can certainly say how brilliant Peter Capaldi has been for both the show and as an actor, and his generosity and kindness and his fanboyisms and such. So thank you very much, Peter. I wish you all the very best in the future, Dracula. And
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably, yeah, they might as well. I mean, he's a massive Hammer horror fan, so that would make sense. Dracula vapes. That'll be a lot of fun to see. So, whatever you do, Peter.
Oh my God.
Whatever you do, Peter. I just wish you all the very best, and you've been awesome. Thank you very much. And of course, thanks to and even Moffat and and Murray who've been for the show. Past the point of Capaldi, yeah, done very good, and the cast and everyone and the production team. May you have a very long rest, because I'm sure Doctor Who is quite hectic, and all the best to all the newbies, because there's quite a lot of newbies. Jodie, Chris, Bradley, Mandy, Taz, Nin. I'm so sorry, and and the producers and everything.
Yeah.
All the best.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's going to be weird, like, because I think people have been used to the Moffat era, and I've been saying, "Oh, get him out. He's been awful, whatever." Referring to Stephen Moffat, I think people are going to miss it. I think we have got cozy with the Moffat era, with all the classic references and all that stuff. But I do think, like Peter Capaldi gave it his all. He's really brought to life stories that have been really bad, like so. And obviously Moffat, yeah, like he has done some really, really great things for the show. Obviously he has had his own moments, but you can't be perfect for 7 years. So, and also Murray Gold, like, he's gone as well. Like it's such a, it's such a shake up for the show going to series 11. It's daunting yet exciting, and I think Doctor Who's all about change. That's how it's kept going for over 50 years. That's why me and Adam are still doing live streams about it today.
I know, it's pretty mad.
It is mad, yeah. But I think Doctor Who does have to take risks, and that's why it's
for sure. It's a show that's constantly evolving and constantly changing. And yes, I'm always kind of that person who may not be 100% sure on absolutely every single thing, but come the episodes, I think things can turn around, or things might either exceed or go to lessen the expectations that you may have on something. But yes, time for change. Sheep's not a moment too soon.
Yeah. Just a few more comments quickly. David, who says, "A merry rest of the period and a happy new year. You guys are amazing. Thank you. If you see a strange man frantically waving you at a convention, that's me." Okay, thank you, David.
Thank you, David, man. I want to thank David because he has been, commentator and supporter for quite a few of my live streams and a few of your live streams, and I think many other live streams and other videos and such. Thank you so much, David. You've been brilliant. I want to thank all of you guys. You've all been amazing this year. All the comments and the support and everything that I've been getting. Twitter is just an absolute fun. Sort of, even whether it's the tweeting obscure references or just tweeting about episodes and sharing opinions and sharing photos and of memories and things like that. You've all been absolutely fantastic, and I wish you all the very best for 2018. I think 2018 might certainly be unpredictable in many kind of senses, both personally and for the program. It'll be very exciting, and yeah, just thank you and all the best, mate.
Good said, bet myself, yeah. Matt says, "Got to go. Happy New Doctor and Happy New Year in advance." Thank you, Matt. I say thank you, everybody, including David and many others who support my channel and support Adam on Twitter, for example. It's such a great community. It's sort of like you wish everything. I remember Peter Capaldi saying it, and it's sort of something which I didn't really take notice of, but it's resonated with me. And he's just like, he wished the whole world could be like the Doctor Who community. And like it would be nice to just sort of say, "Hey world, look at this. This is like Doctor Who. Follow its rules and examples as humans." But yeah, no, I've loved these live streams I've been doing, and I hope you've all enjoyed the spoiler talk. And I hope 2018 will be a bit of a drag for Doctor Who, but I'm sure me and Adam will be doing live streams.
Infinity War.
Infinity. Oh! I'm so game for that movie. I'm really game for that. But yeah, there's obviously a bit of a content obviously with other media shows and that, and TV, film. But when Doctor Who comes back around, it's going to be, I think, something which will be pulling hopefully the rug under people's legs and really pushing the show in a new direction. So I'm really, really, really excited. Is there anything to plug, Adam? Anything you've got coming out? Or
Is there anything I want to plug in? Okay, I need to plug in my phone charger.
Hey,
Like you, I've got a channel. I've got Adam the Ultimate Who. I'm hoping to start something up with that. I'm hoping to do a Shada review. For I think there's like a few people who aren't certain whether to pick up the release or not, and I hope to encourage them to sort of maybe talk about
that'd be nice,
how well
yeah.
fits in, of course, with the original footage and the animation and just confusion. Because I was certainly confused maybe at the beginning of whether this would actually be split as a six-parter or as an omnibus, but just to kind of tell the people this is what it's like, this is how I experienced it, and I definitely gonna want to pick up that release again because I haven't seen it sort of since the screening, actually, the wonderful BFI screening. So yeah, I've got and it came with the DVD, so I look forward to getting that, and I'll probably get the Steelbook because I'm just in favour of the Tom stuff. And yeah, just hopefully Shada and hopefully some very stuff coming soon on Who 2018. Stay tuned. Oh, and Twitter, Adam the Who. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Adam the Who / Starman. Hey.
Starman. Yeah. I want to talk about. I think I listened to this, Reese. Maybe the Access All Areas Doctor Who special done by Joe Wiley. That was absolutely terrific. 2 hours.
Yes,
and everything.
Yeah, if you haven't checked that out yet, go check out. It's Joe. Zoe, is it Zoe? No,
Joe Wiley.
Is Zoe? Joe Wiley. There you go. Yeah, Zoe Ball's the annoying one.
yeah.
So Joe. Yeah, so she's done a 2-hour Doctor Who special on Twice Upon a Time, talking to all the actors involved, including Peter, David Pell, Stephen Moffat, Mark Gatiss, etc. It's a really, really interesting listen. If you haven't listened to it, it's on BBC Radio 2. And I was really surprised by the music choices as well they've done.
Yes.
It was like bashing out some tunes from Capaldi, like David Bowie.
Yeah, that's why when you said Starman, I was like, oh yeah, that's special because that's the first piece of music of that special, and that's one of my favorite songs. I
think my favorite bit was David Bradley's because he was Ziggy Pop, and
Ziggy Pop, and
she's like, David, I love you.
Yeah,
but yeah, fair play to her. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, you can check it out on BBC Radio 2 for more Twice Upon a Time goodness. So yeah, tomorrow I've got a video out. What I got for Christmas 2017 Doctor Who edition. I'm also working on a tribute video for the 12th Doctor based on Twice Upon a Time and recent events and stuff.
Awesome.
So be a bit experimental with that. But yeah, keep involved with the channel. I've also got a sequel to the 9th Doctor Chris Ferguson interview talking about Jodie Whittaker. I sit down and it's probably about 15 minutes, and I'm just trying to do all the pictures, which takes time. So I'm only going to do that for a New Year's special, so I don't know. But
nice.
But yeah, so that's all my stuff really. But as always, thank you ever so much for an absolutely amazing co-host.
Cheers.
Lovely to be amazing.
I'm gonna go off and cry. I'm gonna cry some more. As if I didn't cry like yesterday. I was like, today I was just like, this year's coming to an end as well. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think there is some things of 2017 just like God, but I was just like, I've got my emotions out the way. I'm fine, and I was just like, when Clara came into it and he was just giving his all, I was like, oh no. Yeah, I felt really bad after because the special. I was just like, oh no. But yes, anyway, so thank you everybody for watching. I hope you have a great rest of Boxing Day and a great rest of the Christmas period. And I hope to speak to you before the new year.
Awesome.
So those guys and girls, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye, my dears.
Bye, dears.